Human is a transitional being, said Rishi Sri Aurobindo. Human is a rope tied between animal and Superman above the abyss, said Friedrich Nietzsche. You see, the notion of human is open, it's yet not closed. Human is in transition. After all, human comes from the Greek word anthropos, and in ancient Greek, being an anthropos was a designation. Something you earn, something you become, not something you are born with. Just because you have a human body, you are not considered anthropos in ancient Greek. You see, the real anthropos, human in Greek, was someone who embodies the cosmic logos within his body. Someone who embodies cosmic logos, Logos, logos in English or in Greek, means a cosmic rhythm, a deep cosmic rhythm. In Sanskrit, you can equate it with Ratam. By the way, there is no Ratam without Satyam. Anyway, but anyone who embodies truth or this cosmic logos, cosmic rhythm, Ratam, within himself, only those people are considered to be the eligible citizen of this cosmopolis. You see, the word cosmopolis, where, as we say, cosmopolitan cities, you don't only become the citizen of the country. The word cosmopolitan means you should become the citizen of the cosmos. For that, the literal meaning of it, meaning you have to embody the cosmic logos within yourself, the rhythm of the cosmos itself should be embodied in a human being. Only those human beings used to be considered anthropos, or human. All others were considered barbarians. See? But since the barbarians, Romans, came and conquered Greeks, and the problem is that this mystical, rich, sophisticated, subtle definition of what does it mean to be human, someone who embodies logos, suddenly was reduced, flattened to logic. You see, this cosmic intuition was reduced to mere reasoning. You see, nowadays when we hear the word logic, we just say the reasoning ability is your IQ. I'm not demeaning it, I'm just saying logos was something, the original word logos was something much deeper and higher and much more mysterious and subtle than this modern word logic. You see, logic anyone can do, most people can do. Logic only requires your mental faculty, while logos inspires and invites entirety of your being to be transformed. Truth was something you become. You know, Brahma Ved, Brahma Bhavet, the knower of Brahman becomes Brahman. Truth is something you become. When you reduce logos to logic, truth becomes something you can use. Logic is something you can use to build tools. And human being himself become a tool. Not something he becomes. Human being stop being end in himself. Human living for his own end in evolution. Not that. Now human lives for the sake of society, for the sake of economics. These different mechanisms turning, and human beings are just being used as a gear, a cog in a wheel. No end in himself as human. Because truth is no longer something you become, it's something you use. So this reduction of logos into logic turned inspiration into mechanism. See, it turned intuition into reason. It reduced intuition into reason. Everything become calculable, something that which you can calculate all the time. The world lost its mystery and it suddenly become mathematics. You see, by the way, I'm no way demeaning mathematics or reason or logic. I understand their utility. I'm just trying to hit home the deeper point here. Please understand. Everything become calculable when logos reduced to logic. And the world itself was started becoming like a machine. It was not machine in actuality, but we started projecting our mechanical thinking, our reducing logical conceptual reasoning to cosmos itself, to world itself, to nature herself. And since then we began, if everything can be calculated with Newton's law or mechanical laws, then there is no mystery, there is no deep, divine, subtle beauty in the cosmos. There is just calculable things. And so start our modern world. When things are seen as quantities and they lost their quality, then not only we started calculating divine objects like river and mountains and trees, all these things suddenly lost their divinity and become mere objects to be used. When things are being calculated and not felt, even humans are just resources. Humans are just calculations. Humans themselves become part of their calculation. That's why we have social sciences. Like society is some type of science when individuals count for just their body count, nothing else. One individual, one body, one vote. There's no depth, no nothing. You see? So I was talking about human evolution. There are two different paths of human evolution which are in discussion. Two different futures fighting for each other. One being transhumanism and other being posthumanism. Two distinct types of schools of thinking are competing for human future. What should be human future? As I said, human is not complete and the evolution should go on. Now, which direction the evolution will take, what is the true human evolution or evolution in general, human beings just being a part of it, we shall discuss. Transhumanism says transhumanism is just a final outcome of this mechanical type of thinking. It is the final outcome of it. The human being and everything is seen as an object, as a tool to be used. Just a bunch of atoms and clockworks working. This type of thinking's final result is transhumanism. Transhumanists believe that human reason is the ultimate power in cosmos. There is nothing higher than human reason, and now we have reached the end of history, and all we need to do is enhance human capabilities, to turn humans into cyborgs. Literally, you see, to enhance the prosthesis, the hardware of human being. Better eyes, better ears, better hands and legs, and install a chip in your brain, and etc., etc. You know what I'm talking. They want to upload their consciousness into cloud or computer. I don't know what. What is consciousness? They don't even ask that question. They just want to upload themselves into some cloud and they want to become immortal. You see, this old Vedic myth of immortality, Amrita, suddenly comes back. But now in the guise of materialism, same myth returns, the myth of immortality, but now in the mind of retarded people. You see, I have no problem with transhumanists. Human beings are suffering. That is the basic action of Buddha. And transhumanist agrees that what we are not sufficient. We suffer. And that's why we need better technology, better medicines. If your hand is cut out, you should have a better, new cyborg hand. Your memories should be enhanced. Whatever gadgets you want to install in your body, I have no problem with it. Do it. If it makes your suffering less, hell, do it. I mean, everything, even a watch and eye lenses are nothing but what? A technology enhancing my ability and capabilities. So I'm not against it. I'm saying that is very reducing and very demeaning definition of what human evolution is. It's human enhancement. Transhumanism is human enhancement, but not human evolution. And human being animalistic in its core, when he is not evolved enough, you are just giving nukes and high level technology to monkeys, if it's not clear by internet by now. So human enhancement is good, but let's not mistake human enhancement for human evolution. So transhumanist, having this French Enlightenment reducing atomic worldview of cosmos, thinks human beings are in suffering, which is a true thought, and they want to reduce the suffering by enhancing their hardware mechanically. It's one way of thinking. And these are the same people, by the way, who wants to go to Mars because they feel no, connection to Earth, Mother Earth. Because for them, it's just an object. River is just what? Just source of water. You see, mountains are source of minerals and whatever. There is no intuitive oneness with reality, with nature, because everything is material and everything is object A is not object B. You see, that type of Aristotelian logic, which was originally logos, now reduced to logic. Anyway, so this is one type of thinking, transhumanism, which wants to lead human evolution forward in this way. Now let's talk about posthumanism. Posthumanists like Rishi Sri Aurobindo or Friedrich Nietzsche, these people also believed that human beings are in transitional phase. Human is a transitional being, as Rishi Sri Aurobindo said, I said earlier. You see, our evolution is not yet over. But Sri Aurobindo adds that reason is not the final crown of evolution. Reason is not the end. The very purpose of reason is not only to make tools. The very purpose of logic is not only to make tools. We have to recover the original logos from the logic. We have to recover the pragya from the buddhi. You see, post-humanists say buddhi, reason is not the highest thing. Pragya, chetana, there are higher levels of intellect than mere reason. The proper use of reason is not only to utilize and make tools and exploit nature, but reason can also discover the absolute and surrender to it. There is more to life than reason. Since post-humanists believe that reason is not the highest crown of evolution, we still need to evolve, but as a being. Not only as a body, not only to improve our hardwares, but also to improve the software. Our metaphysics, our cosmology, our epistemology, our ontology, how we see the world, what is knowledge, who we are, what is cosmos, why we exist, why we are alive. This thing needs to be questioned from the very beginning. For transhumanist, human being is thing in itself, and now we just need to improve human. For post-humanist, human is also a concept constructed. Human being, for them, is a designation, a label which we have inherited, is imposed on ourselves. Like engineer or doctor. You know, if you ask some doctor, are you a doctor or human? He would say, I am human first, but the doctor is a label I put on myself. Post-humanists say even human itself is a label, not thing in itself. It's something you put on. It's something you become, not something who you actually are. Jivatma is not who you actually are. It's something you have become. There is no human as such. Human need to be deconstructed and thought from the scratch. What does it mean to be human? What is human? You see, we need to resurrect the original definition of logos according to them. And I agree with them. I have bias. You see, I'm not fighting with transhumanists. I'm just for the support of post-humanists, and transhumanists can make our life better by building better gadgets and giving us cyborg arms or whatever. I'm all for it. But the real evolution has to be the transformation of the human being from the very core. You see, this reductionist worldview of cosmos as a mechanical clock will not work. Post-humanists believe in non-duality. They want to reduce the boundary between human and nature. Because artificial boundary, human being itself is an artificial creation, which can be broken. You see, and we need to resurrect these thinkers of like Shankaracharya and Abhinava Gupta, or Bhartrihari, or Nietzsche, or Schelling, Fichte, German Romanticism, of course, all of Indian philosophy. We need to resurrect that, and we have to understand that rationally, and we have to integrate this supra-rational, absolute type of thinking from the ground. You see, we need to resurrect it from the history. And modernity, reason, materialism should be just considered as a one phase in human evolution, not the end of it. The history will not end, has not ended, as Francis Fukuyama believed. You see. So this post-humanism wants to transform human from the very core. From the very silent center of being, it wants to make human into something higher than human. All duality between human and nature, between human and cosmos, between human and God, between life and death, all these boundaries should be erased. We should be able to see beyond death. Right now, while we are alive, we should be able to remove boundaries between human and nature, human and cosmos. You see, human should always become higher than himself. Something mysterious, something being which cannot be comprehended by mere reason. Because human being, after all, transhumanism only goes as far as Manomaya Kosha. According to Upanishad, we have 5 koshas. Body, physical body, Annamaya, vital body, mental body, Manomaya, and then we have Vijnanamaya, which is Pragya. Pragya is something totally different. Pragya is an intuitive insight into the whole of reality, not reason, not buddhi alone. You don't only have to be buddhishali, you should be buddhishali, but there is higher, you should be pragyavan. And then Chetana itself, the real consciousness, very ontological basis of cosmos, has to be transformed. You see? So there are 2 types of future, in short. Transhumanism and posthumanism. Both agrees the human being, what they are right now, are not sufficient. But both have different way and trajectory of human evolution. And you have to decide in your own heart which side of evolution you fall in. Let's not go against it. You can synthesize both of them, but one side doesn't agree with other. Especially transhumanists don't agree with posthumanists. They think it's all woo-woo bullshit. They are very real, materialistic. You see. Anyway, stupid. So the future will be decided in your heart, not somewhere outside. You decide for yourself.